The one thing that I knew that I knew that I knew.
Not all cultures are equal. Not all values are equal.
But when God gave me his calling, when I received Jesus when I was 16.
When you see the administration appoint czars, car czars, wage czars, there's over 20 czars that have been appointed. And what do those czars do? They bypass the Congress.
Because when you are hot for Jesus Christ, there is nothing that is like that life. It is the most exciting life when you are praying in the Spirit, when you are meditating on his word.
I think the people that Barack Obama has been associating with are anti-American by and large. That's the real question about Barack Obama. Take a look at these associations, Chris, add them all up, and this is the totality of the package that Barack Obama has been, in Sarah Palin's world, palling around with. I'm focusing on Barack Obama and the people that he's been associating with.
But do you suspect that a lot of people you serve with?
Their anti-American nature.
So you do feel that his views are anti-American?
I feel his views are concerning, and I'm calling on the media to investigate them. I'm not saying that his views are anti-American. That was a misreading of what I said. Take a look at these associations, Chris, add them all up, and this is the totality of the package that Barack Obama has been, in Sarah Palin's world, palling around with. I'm not saying that his views are anti-American. That was a misreading of what I said.
You believe that Barack Obama may, you're suspicious because of this relationship, may have anti-American views. Otherwise, it's probably irrelevant to this discussion. So
Absolutely.
You believe it brings in the, so you believe that Barack Obama may have anti-American...
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very concerned that he may have anti-American views. That's what the American people are concerned about.
The economist in question is John Riley. And what he's calling bullpucky on is the fact that Republican leaders like Senator Mitch McConnell and Congressman John Boehner have cited his study in order to make the claim that President Obama's cap-and-trade global warming plan would cost American families an extra $3,100 a year in energy costs. Dr. Riley told House Republicans they were not reading his study right, that they in fact were flat wrong about it. He told them that back in March. It's April now, and Minnesota Congresswoman Michele Bachmann, who I usually enjoy ignoring, apparently did not get that particular memo. She has written an editorial in the Minneapolis Star-Tribune.
The one thing that I knew that I knew that I knew.
Saying, quote, according to an analysis by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, the average American household could expect its yearly energy bill to increase by $3,128 per year. The MIT guy says, no, that's not what his study says. Not true. You can't say that.
That was a misreading of what I said.
Well, now the Star-Tribune will have to run a correction. Very embarrassing.
Very key topic.
Let me ask you very quickly. You said you were concerned during the campaign that Obama had anti-American views, and you said the news media should do a penetrating expose and take a look at the views of the people in Congress and find out if they're pro-America or anti-America.
Actually, that's not what I said at all.
How many people in the Congress of the United States do you think are anti-American? You've already suspected Barack Obama. Is he alone, or are there others? How many do you suspect of your colleagues as being anti-American?
What I would say is that the news media should do a penetrating expose and take a look. I wish they would. I wish the American media would take a great look at the views of the people in Congress and find out, are they pro-America or anti-America?
I'm reading your exact quote.
What I said.
The one thing that I knew that I knew that I knew.
It's an urban legend that was created.
That isn't what I said at all.
No, that's not at all what I said.
The one thing that I knew that I knew that I knew
is an organization that has their beliefs, and they gave Patty Wetterling money. How do you get from point A, we're contributing to Patty Wetterling's campaign, to she wants to sit down with Osama bin Laden and believe that Peace Pact believes that, and Patty has said that herself in 2 debates, that that's what we should do. I'm sorry, Michelle, but you're making that up.
Global warming is something that's talked a lot about and has been for the last probably 20 years. And I remember the covers of some of our news magazines, our weekly news magazines, that said that we were coming into an ice age. That was in the 1970s, and scientists felt that we were coming into global cooling, not global warming. Then scientists said we were going into global warming, and they backed off of that and then said we were going into global cooling. Now we're back into some scientists talking for global warming. I don't think that it has been established yet as a fact that global warming is the issue of the day. And I think that at this point, one thing that we need to do is look at the science.
And read Ann Coulter's book on treason, because the one thing that book shows is that you can't trust Democrats with foreign policy. If there's one thing I believe, you don't trust Democrats with foreign policy.
Michelle, I'll tell you that. Michele Bachmann quoting Ann Coulter.
FDR applied just the opposite formula, the Hoot-Smalley Act.
In the news again for some controversial comments she made, trying to suggest that there was a link between swine flu and Democrats.
I find it interesting that it was back in the 1970s that the swine flu broke out then under another Democrat president, Jimmy Carter, and I'm not blaming this on President Obama. I just think it's an interesting coincidence.
And that would be an interesting coincidence, except the swine flu happened in 1976, and the president at the time was a Republican president, Gerald Ford.
You said the news media should do a penetrating expose and take a look at the views of the people in Congress and find out if they're pro-America or anti-America.
Actually, that's not what I said at all. What I would say is that the news media should do a penetrating expose and take a look at the views of the people in Congress and find out, are they pro-America or anti-America?
The one thing that I knew that I knew that I knew.
Actually, that's not what I